We are moving right along this new week. It's a Monday morning. Glad you could join us as we're listening in. Just pretend you're standing outside of one of the houses where the letter is being read in Rome to a gathering of Christians who are so excited to hear from the Apostle Paul. And he's pounding into their thinking, their hearts and their minds, and ours as well. The fact that you have this rock solid relationship with God, not because you have designed it or established it, but it's rock solid because He has designed it and He has established it. He has purchased it. He has accomplished it. And so we get to enjoy it as we participate in this relationship. He gives us His Holy Spirit. In chapter 8, verse 35, he says this: Who will separate us from the love of Christ? Will tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? And the obvious answer is no. None of these things will separate us from the love of Christ. Not one of them. All these 7 different experiences are simply an illustration. He picks these 7 ideas because his point is nothing. If God is for us, who could be against us? If God justifies, who is it that condemns? And what shall separate us from the love of Christ? In all the arsenal of the enemy, there's not one weapon that can separate you from the love of Christ. None of them. He tried all of these against Job. Remember when you go back and read the book of Job? Satan tried every one of these. He pulled out every weapon that he had and leveled it against Job. And Job's faith was tested and proven. It was proven solid. And the love of God toward Job never changed. It sure felt like it did. But when Job was restored, and I don't know if he and God had a conversation later on about what happened or not, but Job's faith never wavered. His understanding of the identity and the character of God was clear. I know in whom I have believed, and I am persuaded that he is able to keep what I've committed to him against that great judgment day, no matter what happens between now and then. Job said, I came into this world with nothing. I'm going to leave with nothing. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So whatever it is that you're going through, look at this list one more time. He says tribulation, which is trouble, distress, persecution, famine, nakedness, danger, or sword. How many of these 7 things can separate us from the love of Christ? None of them. Our hope is fixed on Jesus. Our confidence is borne out in the presence of the Holy Spirit who lives with us. If you have the Holy Spirit, you have heaven. And if you live to be 120 years old, these next 100 years or 20 years or however many it is until you get to be 120, and you die at 120 years old, say that 120 years is a slice of eternity, but it's no more than just literally, it'd be a little knife mark on the span of time and eternity, almost unnoticeable. And so we endure, we rejoice, we worship, we are faithful for the little tiny bit of time that we are here, undergoing these 7 and maybe others circumstances that are difficult. But our faith is not based on anything in this world. Our faith is based on Jesus Christ, and our confidence is based on the fact that we have His Holy Spirit. God bless you through the day. He loves you, and we love you too.